Hey guys, so I have an event tonight and I wanted a really beautiful, fresh, natural looking makeup. And I also wanted to use this new foundation. This is from Laura Mercier. It's the Flawless Lumière Radiance-Perfecting Foundation. They are sponsoring this video, so big thank you to them. I wanted to do something really nice and fresh for the new year, so let's jump into it. I have actually been doing really good with my skin. I've been on a really good routine and it just, I don't know, my skin's been looking really good, but I like this nice glow that I have, so I want to keep the glow. Okay, so to start, I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize. I'm using this Tata Harper. This is the Illuminating Moisturizer. We're gonna put a little bit of that in there on our skin because I do want to look really nice and lit from within. Actually, before we start, let's go ahead and put her hair up. All right, so yeah, new hair, new year, new look. Well, kind of like the same look because you guys know I love like a nice fresh dewy skin. This actually smells really good. It's very natural. It's like 100% natural, I think. Yeah. So before we move on, actually, I want to do primer, and because I want the primer to really adhere to the skin, like really melt in. This is the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer. This is the hydrating one. And I like the hydrating one because it's packed with tons of like vitamins. So it's like, it's kind of like skincare. It's really good for keeping your skin nice and plump and moisturized, especially if you have like little fine lines. Really helps to plump up the appearance of that. So I've been actually using the hydrating one as opposed to the original. I'm really going for that glow. All right, that looks really healthy, right? So we're just gonna let that sink in, and I'm gonna move on to brows. For brows, I've been really kind of faithful to this L'Oreal. It's the Unbelievabrow. It's kind of like a brow pomade gel situation, and it really keeps the brows in place. So I have been using blonde lately as opposed to light brown. Let's see how that looks. This is just gonna give my brow like a little bit of a shadow. So it's not gonna make my brow stand out, but I'm not really looking for my brows to be too crazy. And then in some of the areas where I just want to fill in or create more of a shape, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the darker shade. This is the Flawless Fusion Ultra-Longwear Concealer in 3W. I like how lightweight this concealer is. It's just, it feels like skin, it looks like skin. Doesn't crease. And I like that it moves. Go ahead and carve this brow. And as you can see, it's like, it just literally melts into the skin. And also just blending this in so that it works really well as a primer for the lid. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set that on the eye with a little bit of the translucent setting powder. I have the Glow and the original. I'm gonna use those later, but for right now, let's take a little bit of the original and press this right onto the lid. Seal that all into place so that way when I put my eyeshadows on, I get true pigmentation, blends really nicely. Leonard, my cat, won't let me win. Okay, so I'm using this palette. It's the Brown Sugar Colourpop palette, and I like the shade Jamocha, is really pretty, and we might deepen it with some of this Sorrel shade. And then Henny is a really great cool tone shade to add shadow. So just taking some Jamocha, using that to warm up the eye a little bit. And then with a slightly stiffer brush, taking that Sorrel and mixing it with henna so I can get some shadow. This is just gonna go on the outer bit of the eye. Not doing anything bold. Okay, so I just want a little bit of liner to add like a little cat eye effect. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and it's in dark brown. I really love using dark brown because, as opposed to black, because it's a nice soft color. It adds the definition that you want without being too harsh sometimes. Sometimes black just looks a little strong. Bear with me. Okay, so it's 3:15, and the event starts at 4. Well, luckily all I have is just makeup. Hair's pretty much done. I don't want to do mascara until we've done the face. So let's move on to the best part, the skin. That's my favorite part. So we have primer on already. We're doing the foundation, and I have 4W2 Chai. I love applying with fingers. So we're just gonna do, this was one full pump to the face. And I'm just gonna take my fingers and start warming up the product and blending into the skin, and then working my way inwards, so that way it's not too heavy in the center of the face. And anywhere I want a little bit more coverage, I can just go ahead and sort of pat that in. That looks like skin, folks. Like, that looks like skin. There we go. All right. Like, here's this side, which looks fine, but then you got this side, which is like, and that glow, it's like a, I will call it like a nice dewy, not dewy, I would call it a really nice skin finish, like a natural skin finish. As I'm applying it, it's definitely, when I do like one pump, so I did another pump just for the chin area. This is more of a medium, but you can definitely build up to full, which let's see how we're feeling today. Let's see if we're feeling fancy. Like I said, really massaging it in, which is really nice for your face. Anyway, just get that really good massage. Blend down the neck, always important, never forget. Let's get a close-up look at this. See what's going on. That looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I just want a little bit more. I didn't do the forehead, so I'm taking a small baby amount. You can't even see it. That's going right on that blemish that I have. And then moving it center, like that. And then just tapping. It's a little dry and crusty. All right. Now we'll get to that guy. Let's do some concealer. Now I have been doing this little trick, aka color correcting, with these concealers. So I use this shade 3C, and it's a cool tone. It looks almost like a salmon-y pink shade. It's perfect for canceling out the darkness under my eye. So taking some of this, and I love the shape of like the applicator wand. It's like a doe foot, so it kind of reminds me of like a lip gloss, just like glided on. So nice. Let that sit for a sec, really warm up onto the skin. Okay, so for concealer, I actually like to use a brush just to blend out edges. So I'm gonna go ahead and start blending out the edges of the concealer, and I'm gonna leave that middle portion here where I want most of the opacity. Don't want to touch that too much. And the reason why I like to use a brush as opposed to fingers to do this is because the brush really helps to get that precision around the edges that sometimes my fumbly little fingers can't seem to do. See, this is what happens when you take a nap before you're supposed to go out and get ready. But sometimes you need a nap though, honestly. Sometimes you need a nap. I'm also gonna take 3W. Now this is more of like my concealing shade. It's gonna help to kind of brighten under the eye as well. Not too much of that because you don't wanna overdo it, right? Still want the skin to look really nice and healthy. So we're going around the nose too. Let that sit just to warm up. Now, is there anywhere on my face? Do I have any spots on my face? I'm gonna go ahead and use some concealer, but I don't see anything other than that monster on my forehead. So we're just gonna take, this one is 4N, and that's gonna go right on there. This is my skin shade, so it's the shade I like to use if I have any blemishes. That way I'm not highlighting them and it blends right in. This foundation's bomb, first of all. Like, it's set onto the skin, it feels like. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of this translucent setting powder, and I'm gonna start to set like around the forehead. I don't want that to crease. I love this. This is actually, this is a cult classic. Like, very hard pressed to find anyone that doesn't love the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It helps with oil and shine. It gives your skin a beautiful matte finish without being too matte. It's a great product. And for bronzer, I'm actually using another translucent setting powder. This is the translucent medium deep. And this shade is a little bit deeper, well, a lot a bit deeper than the normal translucent setting powder, but it also has a glow to it. So I really like that as a bronzer, because then I get setting powder, I get a little bit of color, but it's also a really nice glow. And then for this, I'm actually using the Laura Mercier Glow Brush, because it has this really cool curve, so it just fits right in the cheek. So I'm just taking a little bit of this. It's mostly just on the bottom half. And I'm just gonna start pressing it in first, so that way I don't disturb the foundation. And then once it's kind of on the skin and it's set into place, I can start gliding it. And then doing the same thing on the other side, just gently tapping, and then you can sweep, but mostly tapping. So we're gonna take a little bit of that all over the face too, just for some, not symmetry, cohesion. So I let the under eye do its thing a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that there's no creases here. Just gently tap them out if you do. And then just taking the translucent setting powder, the original, and just using that to press into the skin, making sure it's nice and set. I'm gonna be taking a lot of photos, so I want my makeup to last. And I don't want creases. I want it to look bomb, so take your time, be precise. And then once we have that in the place, I want to add a little bit of glow to the cheeks. So I'm taking the translucent loose powder, and this is the glow. I'm going to go ahead and use that just here, where I would normally use a highlighter. And like I said, I love it because it blends into the skin. It's this beautiful glow. And it's also a setting powder. Like, you can't beat an all-in-one. You can't. You can't. So let's do a little bit of this on the brow also. It's a beautiful golden iridescence. I like it also above the brow for cohesion. And you can really build up with this too. That's pretty. So let's do a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Doing here, I don't want to emphasize that pimple, so we're just going to work around her. And we need blush. We need a bit of blusher. So we're going to take a little bit of blush. This is my new fave. This is the MAC Linda Powder Blush from Robert Lee Morris. It's a beautiful shade. Beautiful, gorgeous. So I'm taking a Laura Mercier, and this is an angled cheek contour brush, but I like it for blush. And this goes right on the apples of the cheeks and pulling back. Just gives my skin a beautiful flush. This is so pretty. It's so pretty. Just blend that out a little bit. And then I like a little bit just on the nose. Blend. Blend. And a little bit on the eye. Sweet like cohesion. And then let's do a lip. So for lip, I have a couple of choices. I have my Bite Beauty custom shade that I made. This is called Bad Bitch. It's fire. And then I also have this MAC lipstick. This is Among the Fireflies. It's a little bit softer, so maybe I'll go with this one. It's a cream sheen. It's pretty too. Oh, that's gorgeous. All right, so let's go ahead and set this. I'm taking my Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Setting Spray. Essential part to the makeup step if you want it to last longer. Okay, So I think that looks good. It's beautiful, it's radiant, looks like skin, but perfected. It's smooth. This is really beautiful. I think it's gonna photograph really well, and I'm actually excited to wear this to the event. So I'm gonna head out, but I thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank Laura Mercier for partnering with me on this video. I've always been a long time fan, so this is pretty natural for me. I'm excited to come back to you with another painting with Jaleesa next. Let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!